Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, the High Guy Jacobs, and today we've produced a very special episode of Garbage Day. Now, normally Garbage Day is reserved for the worst of the worst players in the Doomsday Last Survivor community. Those who spend their entire time trolling EC chats, sharing their bigoted views, sharing their disgusting racist views. However, today we actually throw someone very special into the garbage. Someone who has actively been working against the community, insulting our intelligence and our value. Someone who, when given the chance to change, always chooses to be just the worst version of themselves. Someone who, from the start, may have had good intentions, but has fallen off the wagon entirely as of late and really showed their true colors. I, of course, am talking directly about the developers themselves. That's right, folks. This video is going to prove to you wholeheartedly that IGG does not care about your gaming experience. They don't care about your issues. They only care about their money. So, start off by smashing the like button, commenting your favorite example of IGG being just trashy, and subscribing to the channel for future breakdowns of what the developers are doing, both good and bad. First up, let's talk transparency, or more accurately, a lack thereof. Transparency is supposed to be the foundation of trust between a company and its players, but with IGG, that foundation is full of cracks. When you have an issue with anything in the game, be it a very common reoccurring bug or a massive problem that needs to be resolved in a timely manner, the support desk provides the same cookie-cutter responses, which almost always include a 24-hour wait timer. Unless it's the most basic of questions, the help desk does not help. It hurts. Not to mention, even when they do respond in those 24 hours, the reply is less help than not getting anything. Its condescending nature and absolute ignorance to the actual issues prove they don't have in-house support. They don't care enough about the community to actually have a help desk. Just look at this communication I had recently regarding the World Championship lucky rewards for YouTube viewers. Now, for a little backstory, I watched the whole live stream of the World Championships on YouTube, along with about 3,500 others. During the stream and during the events, they were handing out massive rewards to the live audience, including things like laptops, phones, game merch, and more. Every person who went to the live was also given 50,000 in-game gold as a thank you for coming. Now, to the YouTube community, we received in-game codes for stamina, resources, and gems, and a list of players also received $50 game packs, $100 US game packs, 50,000 linked gold, and even legendary skins. They even had 100,000 linked gold as a reward. But that's neither here nor there. I was lucky personally enough to win a $100 US game pack, which, if you look at most 100 US game packs, is a nice little gift. However, when the rewards were actually delivered, it was more like a $5 pack. In fact, you could get more for $5 than I got for my $100 pack. Let's look at the rewards and the comparisons they used for reference. If I jump into game here, and I jump into my mailbox, I can show you the rewards that we got. This was my pack valued at $100. We received 100 high carbon steel and 3,000 premium metal, and that was it. Now, when I look at this and say that's not worth $100, what am I thinking? Well, by comparison, you come over here to the customization contest, and for $5, you receive 100 high carbon steel, 2,240 premium metal, 1,000 gems, 1,000 VIP, 80 Alliance resource packs, and 10 blueprints. So for $5, I'm receiving about the same value as what their $100 pack is for their rewards. Now, when in conversation with these folks, it was made very clear that they weren't here to focus on that at all. Look, here's the comparison they used for reference, okay? Inside the game, I asked them directly, and here is the comparison that they made me. In the premium packs, they told me to go to the sleek vehicle pack, which has 5 high carbon steel and 195 premium metal available for only $5. So they were basing it at 5 high carbon steel for $5. But they didn't provide any of the additional resources, any of the VIP, any of the additional gems, or any of the general shopping rewards that you would provide to the Alliance itself for those same $5 packs. They simply valued it at the high carbon steel. That was it. They didn't even do the right calculation for premium metal, as they would have been 900 short. So in reality, they weren't even using this as a proper reference. They were simply using this as the closest approximation to a high carbon steel as they could provide, without providing the remaining amount. Now, not only did I spend 4 days talking to support about what they included and why it was so low, the help desk themselves even admitted it was not enough. But after 4 days of waiting for a reply, they came back with an asinine comparison, just as we've shown you, off an atrocious pack to try and validify their stance. Since there is no actual communication with the developers, there is no resolution to players feeling fully taken advantage of. Now let's take a look at some of those screenshots of the conversations I had where they openly admitted it wasn't enough. Okay? And it's very simple. They openly said it. It wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't openly admitted, but that becomes my problem. They understand. The help desk also understood it was not enough, but that was enough for them. So let's take a look here and go through them directly. Okay? We simply talk about this. Yep, we're talking about the same ID number. We're talking about the same process, the same $100. They were already mailed out. The value indicated for the live broadcast is based off the original value of in-game items, is not equivalent to store gift packs. Store gift packs are discounted with diamonds and resources as additional bonuses. So even here, they're saying that the packs are not even the right amount. The packs themselves, all you're getting from the packs, most of it is valueless. Only one thing matters in the pack for their valuation, which to me is absolutely just asinine. And it becomes a problem when you look throughout it, even though you can get those same rewards for only $5, right? And again, they pass it off. It's another day. Let's see if I can find the chat where they even said it was not enough. See right here, do you agree that they are not worth $100? They say the metal and steel did seem too little for $100. They even admitted it wasn't enough, until they came back and gave me the asinine report that says it was based off of this ridiculous pack, which is unbelievable in regards to evaluation. So they absolutely just disrespect us in every aspect that they can, and turn around and expect us to just take it. So unfortunately, when it comes to transparency, there is absolutely none. But let's talk next about technical stability. An absolute must for online games, especially the competitive or time-sensitive ones. But IGG, their record here is frankly quite horrendous. Widespread reports cover everything from frequent server outages and lag to full-on network freezes, leading to countless lost troops and resources. Imagine random porting to a sweet spot on the map, mass deploying 5 squads to go harass your enemy, and the game crashes. But you realize it's not for everyone, just for you and a couple people. Now, it takes about 5 minutes to log back into the game, since it won't actually log you in the first time. It might take you a couple times. And yet, when you do come back, all 5 marches have been swarmed individually. All 5 marches are now sitting in the hospital, and you may even have a rally headed your way. The point is simple. They promised better servers and a better experience, and yet nothing has changed. IR was still plagued by server instability. I mean, really, how do you plan to handle 1,000 regional servers when you can't even handle 1 during Worlds? But here's the real kicker. When the community does finally come together, organizing protests like spending boycotts or in-game demonstrations to spotlight ongoing problems, IGG doesn't try to listen or open a constructive dialogue. Instead, they went full on Crackdown. They threw 2 spending events at us, flash sales and the Golden Roulette in the Golden Mall, which is normally a multi-day event, But surprise, surprise, only one day during our strike. They countered our 1-star reviews with fake 5-star reviews, all posted on the same day, all basically saying the same thing. They took down the help desk for a short time to some players. I've got screenshots of players who could not even click on help. They could not go into the help desk. They even tried to convince big whales who quit during this strike to come back with mechanics that haven't even been released to the public yet. Instead of resolving the conflict, these moves only deepen the wounds. Trust, gone. Solidarity, shaken. The community, more divided than ever. Christ, even their own official Discord is moderated by ex-players who spend their time bad-mouthing the community, the developers, and the game itself. It's a textbook example for other studios on how not to handle unified player action. But the truth goes deeper than this. Because as much as I love this community, I have to say something that some people will not like. I may lose viewers, followers, or players in my own alliance, but I need to say something that may hurt to hear. It's our own fault. It's our own responsibility, and it's all because of the community as a whole that allows IGG to get away with this. They abuse us. We don't care. We still pay them. We pay them more. They ask us to jump, we say how high. And don't get it twisted, I'm a part of the problem too. I still spend. I've actually created a link to this game that almost makes me spend more in hopes of it eventually getting better. Right? That's what my YouTube is all about, trying to make this game better. But that doesn't mean you have to. You don't have to be tied to such an addiction. You can choose to be better. So what does it all add up to? Well, IGG's current approach to community relations, transparency, technical stability, and customer support points to a pattern of neglect and mismanagement that's poisoning its relationship with gamers. Their constant prioritization of profit over player satisfaction, their refusal to be open and responsive, and their harsh tactics against community protests have led to a fractured, unstable player base. People are leaving in droves. I mean, I cannot get on here every day and not get at least 1 or 2 people that are selling their accounts and moving on. Now, I could name some names, but I won't because it's not my position to do so. But these are some pretty big names. And unfortunately, once those names are going, yeah, they'll get replaced, but they're never going to get replaced the same. The game is seeing a downtrod. The lesson here is companies need to remember that games live and die by their communities. Transparency, engagement, and a respect aren't luxuries. They're necessities. IGG's story should be a wake-up call for both players and developers everywhere. Now, to make things clear, I'm not going anywhere even though I think you should. I will still be here trying my best to help the average player get better at this game the cheapest way possible. I will always voice my opinions on how I think IGG should be, even while giving them room to be profitable. It's not about money, it's about value. We will spend more if you give us value for our money. We will support you more when you support us. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for another episode of Garbage Day. A very special, in-depth, deep dive into the atrociousness of IGG. I hope you guys liked. If you did, smash the like button. Comment down below what you'd like to see next. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, get the message out there. And lastly, if you can afford it, click the join button and become a member today. I know it's $7.99 a month. It's another subscription. And truth be told, I'm not even going to lie, you don't get very much for it. Not right now, because I've got Starlink and I can't live stream. But when we do get it, when we do upgrade, we will get live streaming going, which means you'll have access to emoticons, emojis, labels, things like that, things to show that you're a supporter of the community. But the truth is, it's really just because IGG, as we've mentioned, doesn't care about us. And YouTube doesn't pay very much. So if you can go into your pocketbooks and help out the community just a little bit more, I would be eternally grateful. And know that you do get your name in the last final screen of the video. So, that being said, thank you very much for tuning in. Love, peace, chicken grease, and until next time, stay lifted.
3, 2, 1, let's go.